The Automatic were a Welsh electro-indie outfit from Wales, swiftly rising to fame during the noughties. At a time where Pete Doherty was getting arrested, Alex Turner was top of the NME cool list, and layered polo shirts were still considered trendy. Originally featuring singer-bassist Robin Hawkins, guitarist James Frost, keyboard player Alex Penny, and drummer Ewan Griffiths. The NME and the BBC both named the band the Sound of 2006, and Radio X one of the best Welsh bands of all time. The band members met in primary school at their hometown of Cowbridge, began playing local shows under the moniker Teen Spirit, playing Radiohead, Blur, Queen, Manic Street Preachers, Nirvana and Green Day covers, eventually changing to White Rabbit, and finally The Automatic, as they believed that music was an antidote to their automatic life. Whatever you like, gents. In 2005, the band's demo caught the eye of probation management, who forwarded it over to Be Unique Records, who then signed The Automatic under a £500,000 publishing deal. That's worth around £950,000 today. Clearly they were a hot commodity, and they were a favourite of the music press, described by the NME in 2006 as borrowing some emo and a bit of Kaiser Chiefs to give us a lot of good tunes. It's safe to say things were looking very promising for The Automatic, circa 2006. The band's debut album, Not Accepted Anywhere, peaked at number 3 in the album charts upon release, and was blessed with great reviews from many outlets. Of course, the NME adored this band and gave the record an 8 out of 10. This Is Fake DIY gave it the same score, Gigwise scored a 4 out of 5, and the BBC reviewed it very favourably. Quote, "Their sharp guitar lines, analogue synths and simple shout-along choruses combine wonderfully to produce 3-minute pop jewels." To support their debut album, they toured for 3 years, covering the UK multiple times and visiting America, Japan, France and the Netherlands in the process, supporting bands like the Kaiser Chiefs, the Kooks, Hardfire and the Ordinary Boys, before headlining their own tour playing festivals like Glastonbury, Reading Leeds, Warped Tour and more. Live shows were reported to be quite a spectacle, with Alex strangling himself with cables, band members climbing over equipment. This behaviour can be summed up during their GMTV incident, in which the band had a 6 AM start to perform on GMTV following a heavy night of drinking after a gig in Bristol. They were asked to mime a performance of Monster, which inevitably went awry. Rock bands deliberately take the mick out of mimed performances all the time, like Oasis, Iron Maiden, Nirvana, but the Automatic decided to take it a step further, by destroying rented instruments, injuring a cameraman and stripping off live on air. Not quite the most rock and roll to go mental on morning television, but the memory of this event has lasted this long, so take that how you will. 3 singles were released for Not Accepted Anywhere: Rowl, Recover and Monster. Before we delve into it, here are some facts about the single. The Automatic's Monster sold 400,000 units as a single in the UK. The song spent 16 weeks on the UK singles chart, originally reaching number 4 and then come back around and entered the charts again, peaking at 34. The NME said the song boasts a hook that could disembowel a whale. At the time, this song was everywhere, and it was adored by many. The song starts with an iconic guitar intro, leading into a call and response vocal style between singer Robin Hawkins and synth player Alex, utilised throughout the band's debut, defining their signature sound. A lot of people really disliked Alex's screechy vocals, but it wouldn't be the same without them if you ask me. The heavy use of synths mixed with distorted guitars throughout was a noughties staple, following the footsteps of bands like Maximo Park, The Killers and the Kaiser Chiefs. This infectious chorus is no doubt one of the main reasons this song was all over the radio.
What's that coming over the hill? Is it a monster? Is it a monster? What's that coming over?
Needless to say, this song was everywhere. TV shows, films, compilation albums. This is a list of the media that the song has appeared on. I think it can't be understated how ubiquitous this song was. It's got some strong legacy simply being a FIFA song. However, despite its raging popularity and success, there were inevitably those that spoke out against this song and the band, labelling them and it a one-hit wonder and calling the song brain-dead and mindless. Personally, I think the silly tongue-in-cheek aspect of it is what makes the song in the first place, but I digress. Contemporaries Kasabian called the group horrible, while Drowned in Sound said this about the song. My automatic response to the Automatic? Projectile vomit, so copious that whatever device dares to massacre my ears with this bloated, painful song is drowned in a sea of emerald green stomach bile. Christ. Nonetheless, the single has stayed in the dormant subconscious of the UK. It's even sung as a football chant for French right-back Pascal Chimbonda.
What's that coming over the hill?
Is it Chimbonda? Is it Chimbonda?
The Automatic's second album, amid rumours circling amongst fans, saw the departure of back-in vocalist Alex. Alex found practicing together increasingly unenjoyable, as revealed in a MySpace announcement. And he wasn't a fan of the music the band was making in the first place, so it kind of just made sense for him to go. He was replaced by one Paul Mullen, who would not continue the unique vocal style, for better or for worse. Beyond their debut, the Automatic really failed to do anything of note and create much of any splash, and split in 2010. Rob got a degree post-band breakup and is now a software developer. Ewan is an accountant and a dad of one, and says this about their experience. For me, sometimes it feels like a whole other life lived. We did the band, and now it's 10 years later. In that time, we've been to university. Sometimes I think we did it all backwards. It's like we had a tremendously extended and exciting gap year. To be honest, it's crazy to me how artists can have such promise and huge initial impact and then fade into obscurity so fast. But that seemed to be the path of so many for Naughty's landfill indie rockers in the UK. From the Maccabees to the Kooks, from Dustin's Bar Mitzvah to the Automatic. Nobody could quite get lightning to strike twice, and it seemed the Automatic were no different. Nonetheless, Monster proves to be a perfect snapshot of the British zeitgeist of the Naughty's indie scene. The Automatic swung and hit a total indie banger. For those that grew up in the Naughties, they know that this song was everywhere at the time, and was, and still is, stupid catchy fun.
What's that coming over the hill?